Hey, yo, it's your boy, okay? Everything is over. Stop your shit. Yo, I'd be lying to you right now if I didn't tell you I was very jealous of you podcasters that have a freaking production team. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just envious at times. It literally took me it took me the exact amount of time it should have taken me, I should say, in order to just set up today. It was like, and then, as organic as the conversation is, you still have to. I still like to keep my train of thought with me, So for you guys that get to walk in, and you walk into your studio, and all you got to do is worry about getting there and having your conversation. God bless you. God bless you, yo. Because I know I'm not the only one, but there's people like me that you got to set up your own mixer. You got to set up your computers. You got to make sure all these things are functioning while this is functioning. Oh wait, let me not forget. You got to go press that record button yourself, and make it to your seat, and still, it's just like and as I'm doing this, right, I'm sitting there, and I was just, it's a joke. I'm not envious of you. I like that. I have something to look forward to. You understand? Maybe one day I'll get to a point where I can go ahead and walk into a studio and just get to doing what I love. And who's to say this might not be what I love doing neither? I can't say that I got like fully frustrated, that I got completely discouraged, that I was just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna pod. I'm not gonna pod. I can't say that it did that. I know that there weren't certain things that were correct. This camera didn't want to stand straight up. I was trying to show my shirt, look like I'm cute, not working because the camera don't want to get me in. Certain things I was just like, man, why am I stressing? Like, let me just go with the flow of things. Nothing is getting me off of my pivot. I can still get it done. Mind you, I got work in an hour. Mind you, I got my second job in an hour. So it's like, I'm not going to rush what I have to do anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and trust the process. And that's exactly what I wanted to speak to you guys about today. I brought this message across. I tried to bring this message across maybe Monday night, I believe. I believe Monday night. I don't know, because these days go by so fast lately that the only time I know it's like a Saturday is because UFC's been on. And I know it's Saturday because UFC's on. That's about it. And I know it's Thursday because I work a double. That's really like about it. Other than that, the days go by so fast. So I don't always grasp what I do. You know what I mean? As far as what has to get done, or I don't take the time in and do things the right way. Sometimes I try to rush it, not trusting the process. I try to force the issue. So I found myself victim of my own podcast on either Sunday or Monday. That's how bad it was that I don't even remember what day it was I tried to record. I did record. That's the sickest part about this. I just opened the beer, but that night, it was 12 o'clock at night. Those are like witching hours for me. If I'm up at 12 o'clock at night, I'm probably up to no good. So that, seeing how I had all that energy, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go pod. I gotta get this off my chest. I gotta go. I want to talk about trusting my process. I really want to talk about trusting my process. So I'll paint the setting for you. It's like 12:30 at night. I'm drunk. I have a tank top on, but I ripped it, I think, because when I shot the podcast with no shirt on. No shirt on, and I still had my hair. I still had my hair. I still had my hair. So I was all bugged out in here, and what's sick is that it took me, I would say 10 extra minutes to set up today. I would say today it took me 10 extra minutes. Just certain things weren't going right. I'm doing a whole bunch of, I'm taking care of all the things that I did last night. Shout out to Quest, shout out to Jam Young. They came through and podcasted with me. Fucking amazing podcast, over 3 hours. I can't, I'm in awe. That I was sitting here editing that, coming off of last night. So now This computer's at work. I was thinking about using this computer. Should I use this computer? But I want a pod. I take a little time there, and then I see this just finished. I trust this one a little bit more, so let me just set this one up. I set this one up, connect my camera. I got a battery charging there. There's a charged battery in the camera. Make sure they're switched. Make sure the memory card's in. Make sure the memory card's formatted. Just these little things that I didn't even remember that I did Sunday or Monday night when I tried to record. When I can't even. I gotta stop saying trying. I did record it. That goes in your little. That little box. That little folder that artists have in their computer, or that people have. How people always got that little box, and little folder of things that I'm not gonna delete this because I know it's gonna bite me in the ass, or I'm gonna fucking laugh at it one day. So I didn't delete it, but I made the pod, drunk and all, drunk as fuck. Like, you gotta see me in that shit. I'm over here like, yo, you would think that you was in the room with me, because I thought you was in the room with me. And normally that's how I treat this, but I know I'm looking at a camera. No, I think that night all of y'all was in the room with me. Like, all of y'all, everybody, like, I really felt that way. And that's how I carried my conversation. And I know some people be like, yo, put that shit out. Put that shit out. I'll contemplate it. I probably will. But initially, I know that I can do better. And initially, I know that what occurred that night, me letting out my emotions on trusting my process, even though that came with a whole bunch of, I go by the name Out of Character for a reason. I'm all over the place. I'm literally all over the place. It's something I got to work on. Don't get me wrong, but if it gets me famous, who are you to tell me? You know what I mean? If it gets me, if I get some peace, if I can figure out some peace with my craziness, who is anybody to tell me that my craziness ain't good for me? So when I went ahead and I had a decision to make after, I even edited it. Like, I got the next day, and I was looking at it. I even went through it, editing it and everything. Like, it was ready to go. I can't put that up. I do myself a disjustice if I go ahead and put something up that doesn't completely get my message out correctly. Whether I was drinking, whether I was smoking, whether I was drunk, whether my hair was a mess, whether I had no shirt on, all those things are just contingencies. The bigger deal is how I feel when I deliver these messages. And looking at myself that night, I wasn't feeling myself when I play it back. And if you're not feeling yourself on things that you do, you gotta correct it. And that it was weird because a crazy chain of events have occurred in my life. So seeing myself on like a third party thing in a camera, drunk as a skunk, and seeing everything that I kind of don't want for myself. I don't want those things to be, they can sit in here, but they shouldn't come full surface. I'm glad that I was able to stop myself before I wouldn't be able to fully accept the pressures of whatever that rant was about. You know what I mean? And it wasn't harmful, it was harmless. But like I said, it was just doing a disjustice to my inside, to myself. I'm slowly learning how to understand myself. So something like that is me, like that's like Swiss Beats getting drunk and telling Busta Rhymes to tell Drake's, you know what I mean? And then he had to apologize the next day, right? He did that all over, and people make mistakes, people do that, but the greatest part about you being able to make a mistake is when you catch yourself. It's not when somebody catches you, it's when you catch yourself in your shit. When you catch yourself, oh. So what do you do? What did I do for a bounce back? I went ahead, I sat on that video for 3-4 days. I went ahead, I podcasted with Quest and Jam last night. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep, mind you, because I got out of work to get right to the computer work. I got a podcast coming out tonight with Eddie. That was an amazing podcast. I just finished cutting some clips up of that. But I've been working. I've been working because I've been trying to work through this problem I'm having. Like, yo, should I just put that out? It's already done. That's a lazy man's talk, right? Should I just put that out? It's already done. Nah, you could do better. Trust your process. So I got to thinking all week, really, really what message I wanted to bring out about trusting your process. I'm really realizing day by day hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, I'm realizing that there's a bigger chance things don't go your way than there's a chance things going your way. Granted, the the hopeful part is that somebody don't beat themselves up too much because of their life mistakes or how life is treating them. You know what I mean? Like I do feel bad for those kids that grow up like, you know, with no parents, or those people that grow up in very severe poverty, you know, or the kids that grow up in abusive households. You know, it sucks when things suck. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you keep an optimistic heart and you push, and you push, and you trust. I'm not saying trust a God. I'm not saying trust a God. I'm not saying like believe in the Bible and no. I'm not saying believe in a religion. I'm not even talking about spirituality. As frank as that, as frank as it sounds, I'm not. I'm just talking about the process. You know, it is. I guess energies would be part of it, but I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying put complete trust in the work that you're doing. That you're doing, if you're righteously doing something to become better, trust whatever comes with that. It's all part of your process. Listen, on the way up, the people that you come up with, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to maintain those relations. Things happen. What you going to do? Be grimy towards the person, mean towards the person. You're gonna change up your whole steez towards the person. Listen, even if they fucked you over, you know, I understand you give what you get. That's a huge picture. But you gotta trust your process. You gotta trust that if something happened between you and a person, that it was all due to happen. And I'm not talking fate. I'm not talking none of that, because you could sit on the couch and fate could be knocking on the door. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about actually getting up off the couch and doing something every day to try to make a change within yourself. Do it. Try to whatever it is your goal in mind is, whatever it is that you want to get. You know, like trust the process. Trust that as long as you're doing something, things are getting done. There's mechanics being moved. There's shit going. I trust I realize how much I trust the process when I got 4 bars in a song, and I'm discouraged as hell. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god. And then I think about, like, if I'm a feature on the track, oh my god, I'm rapping with him. Fuck. Hey, I'm honest. I don't need to withhold what gives me fuel for the fire to come to the dance. You know what I mean? I don't have to. Why should I have to hold it back? That's the honest truth. But yeah, when I'm only 4 bars in, there's only one thing to do: get to work. Whether I wrote a bar a day for a week and 2 days, you know what I mean, to get a 16, you know, or I waited till I got to the studio. But I was working at it every day. I just couldn't get it out. And when I got to the studio, when I had it was ready to go. As long as you work, as long as there's some work being put in, and you're not sitting there and letting the time go by and trying to figure it out by not doing anything, it never works. As long as you're doing things, hey, you're gonna make mistakes. Hey, you're gonna fail. Hey, you're gonna feel insecure. Like, it's bound to happen. You're gonna piss a lot of people off too. You know, you're gonna break relationships. You're gonna miss birthdays. You know, you're gonna miss Christmases. Things are gonna happen. But such is life, isn't it? Don't things happen regardless? Things are always happening. Ask any random person. I guarantee they got a thing going on in their life. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Things are gonna always happen in life. So what do? This podcast I do is I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself, and it's to grab life by the fucking horns. It's not, life is gonna it's gonna go. It's never gonna stop. So it's about grabbing that bitch by the horns. When you grab it by the horns, you gotta trust what the fuck happens next, because wherever the fuck that bitch wanna go, hold on. If you never got up to take the ride, how can you really say that you're living your life? Just because we're watching it on TV, You know, just because you watch whatever image that you see on TV, you think that that's living, or because you can get closer to it through a computer, you think that's not living. You gotta get up and go live this life. Follow a dream. Find something to do. Be the best at something. And understand, while you're trying to walk to be the best at something, you gotta trust the process of everything that comes with it, good or bad, because that's just what life is. It's good and it's bad. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Hey, yo, I'm out of here. It's your boy, OK? Everything is Stop your shit.